So welcome everyone. This is Elsie Kerns, your Chaos to Clarity coach. Great idea in the midst of this unprecedented time that we're in right now. And we have our Women Healing Women and the World May Wellness webinar. And I'm delighted tonight to have a colleague, Julie Glitz. She is a licensed massage therapist and also a Yasui and Tibetan Reiki master right here in Haddonfield, New Jersey. And I'm going to have her talk not only about her business and what she does, but also this new endeavor that she's connected with and taken on as VP of Heal That Life, which does really interesting work. And I'm anxious for Julie to share it with us. So we always begin our sessions with the May I meditation, so I'll lead everyone through this, and we're going to just come into prayer position right in front of the heart. We have the slide up here to guide us. And we're going to bring our palms up to the top of the crown, and here we're going to open our connection to the divine, to the cosmos, to cosmic consciousness, and we're going to say, may I know the truth. We bring our palms to the third eye area, to the forehead, and this area in regard to high sense perception governs our seeing and our hearing, being clairaudient, clairvoyant, and here we say, may I see and hear the truth. We bring our palms off the lips. May I speak the truth. We bring our palms back down to the heart. And here we say, may I speak the truth through my heart. We open our palms to all of humanity, for all of our human brothers, sisters around the world. And of course, I always comment, this is a great doodle art from Sherry Nicholas, who is an Eden Energy medicine practitioner and a physical therapist assistant. I know I had this quote up there last time, but I just love it. And so once again, someday after mastering the winds, the waves, the tides and gravity, we shall harness for God the energies of love. And then, for a second time in the history of the world, man will have discovered fire. So a great quote, one of the great quotes from Chardin, and just a reminder that we really need to create that fire of love these days. So here is a little information about Heal Thy Life. It's local to Eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, and it's also in partnership with other groups. And in a few minutes, I'm going to have Julie talk about this specifically because they really are working with integrative and complementary modalities for cancer treatment in order to empower that lifestyle to boost the immune system, which is so important. And this organization, Heal Thy Life, of course, is a 501c3. It's a nonprofit, and they are raising funds for late-stage cancer patients seeking integrative treatments that are not covered, of course, by traditional medicine or traditional health insurance. And I also will have Julie speak about the work of radical remission, which was detailed in a book by Dr. Kelly Turner. So let me stop the share here. And Julie, welcome to the show. I'd like you to tell us really about, first of all, about your practice, because you're right here local. And I know you do both Reiki and you also teach Reiki, and you're a licensed massage therapist, and then also about um, Heal Thy Life.
Well, thank you, Elsie. Thanks for having me, and thank you all for having me and spending this time with me today. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to speak about Heal Thy Life. Again, my name's Julie Geltz, and I'm the Vice President of Heal Thy Life. I have a wellness center practice in Haddonfield, New Jersey. And as Elsie said, we do massage therapy. I specialize in craniosacral therapy, myofascial release, energy healing, specifically, especially Reiki. Um, and uh, right now we're closed, as many businesses are, unsure of when we're going to be able to safely reopen. But what we're looking forward to is safely reopening. So that's what we're gearing up for. I'm eager to get back to work. I love what I do. So as the Vice President of Heal Thy Life, I guess it's been less than a year that I've been on the board, but I feel like I was guided somehow to this work, and really feel blessed and honored to be able to work with them. What we do at Heal Thy Life is we help cancer patients, late stage particularly, stage 3 and 4. We help them when they're seeking complementary and integrative therapies or treatments that aren't covered by health insurance. So they may be going through, working with an oncologist and doing conventional medicine. They may be receiving chemotherapy, radiation, surgeries, and then also come to us and help, or we help them by supporting them both financially through a grant that we offer. We support them through services like massage therapy, yoga. We've set them up with organic fruits and vegetables if they needed it, or if that's what they desired. And we collaborate with other nonprofits. There's one called Unite for Her, which works directly with women's cancers. Well, they used to call it women's cancers. Now they're saying breast cancer and ovarian cancer, because men too can get breast cancer. So we work with them, and we work with Inspiring Life Together, which is a newer nonprofit. And the woman who started that used to be one of our beneficiaries. So we're working with her as well, and she's helping with her board to provide people with services, like if they can't get to the store because they're not feeling well, or they need childcare when they're going in for treatments, or if they're not feeling well. So she does that, and it's such a great cause. We also work with the Young Adult Cancer Connection in Philadelphia, and they work, please don't quote me, but I think it's 14 to 42. And we asked why 42-year-olds are considered young adults, and they are. So isn't that great news? So they're really awesome too. But so our group works, like I said, to support, to educate, and to raise funds. I also wanted to mention we offer as services sound healing with our friend Lucia. Elsie and I have a mutual friend, Lucia, who plays her crystal bowls.
Yeah.
And it's just such a beautiful sound, and she's really great at helping people too. So when we educate people, the way that we're able to do that is through a library that we have. And it's a lending library. We have books like Chris Beat Cancer, Eat for Life by Dr. Joel Furman,
Mhm.
who I'll talk to you a little bit more about him. And then there's also a blog uh, in our educational platform. That blog was written by the woman who inspired Heal Thy Life, the organization. She was 36 years old when she was told that she had an incurable form of cancer. And her doctor said to her, "We can give you this really strong chemo, but it's only going to buy you time. So it's not a cure. We don't have a cure for what you have." So she then went and researched, how to cure herself. And in that, she, of course, it wasn't covered by health insurance, so she needed help. So her friends created this beautiful place for her, which is now Heal Thy Life, and helped her for her, on her cancer journey. So she was diagnosed first in July of 2016, and she's still fighting the fight and has a really full life, and still helps us when we have, she's part of our support system. So she has a blog post on our website called The Packet of Hope. So that's another resource that we have. We also help educate through, we've had screenings of a documentary called Code Blue. And Code Blue was just made available for download to our community. So you could go on to the Heal Thy Life website and our social media. If you're on Facebook, Heal Thy Life on Facebook, you can go in and get the download for that Code Blue, um, which is just, another really great resource that we have. And I'm so happy that we now have that available for download. And I think Elsie had up our radical remission workshops. So I made cards that had all of this information, but what I realize is that they're going to be backwards.
Okay, well, I have those two links. I have those links
Yes.
on the first slide, and I will include them again when I send out the replay.
Thank you. Yeah. So the Radical Remission Workshop link is on there as well. So
Okay.
that's another support page that we offer to our community. We also raise funds. And right now, in this pandemic, as you can imagine, a lot of nonprofits are having a difficult time. We're not able to do any fundraising really on the level that we have in the past. But we do still have the ability to do that. On our website, there's a place to donate if you're interested, or if you know anyone who might be interested. Another way to do it is if you shop on Amazon. You can go on to Amazon Smile instead. And on Amazon Smile, it's an exact replica of Amazon. And if you shop there, choosing Heal Thy Life as your beneficiary, then a portion of your sales are going to come to Heal Thy Life and help to support us. So I just wanted to let you guys know
Great.
that.
Yeah.
We did have a few events planned this year, and of course we had to put them all on the back burner. One of them was a Joel Furman book signing event. And Joel Furman wrote a book called, I always get them backwards, Eat for Life and Eat to Live. So Eat for Life was his first book, and he's a best-selling author.
Mhm.
I think he's a 6-time best-selling author. And he was going to come and do a book signing for us and have a Q&A with us. We are going to reschedule that with him because he's just so dynamic and so helpful, and he's one of the books included in our library. It's a great resource if you want to check it out. I think that you would really find that to be interesting.
Julie, excuse me, when
Yeah,
do you think he'll be back? And will he be at the Cat Center in Cherry Hill, or will he be in Philly with you? I know he's been on PBS a number of times.
yeah. So we had his event scheduled at the Connect Church in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Okay.
That would have been scheduled for earlier this month, but again, we'll have to postpone that. So it's hard to say when we'll be able to do that again. I think that large group gatherings are going to be something that we're going to have to look at in the future. So we're hoping for next year, for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if that's going to happen, of course, but I'll certainly let you know. And we may do it virtually. So we'll see. That's a possibility too. Another thing that we were going to be doing this year, an event, was a symposium, and that was going to be held along with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, where they were going to have their vendors there, and we were going to have the symposium. That's scheduled for November 1st. It hasn't been canceled yet, so there's going to be more news to come on that. There were our keynote speaker, and she's also going to be doing a cooking demonstration, is Christina Perello
Oh,
of Christina Cooks. Her show just came back on the air, if you're familiar with her.
yes. Mm-hmm.
I see some head nods. That's great.
Yeah.
She's fantastic, and she's also the author of many books, and I've had her cookbooks, Cooking the Whole Foods Way. I've had it for 20 years, and I use it often. I should have brought it to show you. It's very well, it's beat up because I use it so well. So
Well, Christine, of course, had her own story, and she really, I think it was, how do you say his name? The Japanese guy, Kushi, that she originally studied with.
I that's something that I don't know about her.
Yeah, and she really healed herself from cancer through food, was her reason, partly for not only continuing, but writing her books. Yeah, she's fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why we asked her to be the keynote speaker. Besides the fact that, she's local, she's a hoot. She's so much fun to watch and listen to, and her food always looks delicious, but she's got a cancer story that, a success story that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we fully believe that what she did to heal herself stands behind what we believe at Heal Thy Life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're excited to have her there.
Julie, talk a little bit more about the Radical Remission book. How does that interconnect with Heal Thy Life, that work?
So the author of that book, Dr. You said her name, and I'm sorry, I had just
Kelly Turner.
Kelly Turner, thank you, of course.
Yeah.
So Dr. Kelly Turner was writing her thesis, and out of her thesis, she discovered that there were 9 common healing factors. So she wrote her book based on 1,500 cases of people from all around the world who healed themselves through cancer many of them were told by their doctors, we don't have a treatment for you, or they've exhausted every treatment and there wasn't anything else that they could really do. The doctors sent them home and said, you know, just be comfortable and get your affairs in order. But she found that these 9 healing factors, when working together, these people had radical remissions.
Mhm.
And she wrote it in a book, and now it's become this whole big, wonderful movement. There are educators now that are trained, and we use radical remission workshops. We actually just sponsored 6 people to go through, Heal Thy Life sponsored 6 people to go through a 10-day radical remission program. So they got to go through all of the factors. There are 9 factors. I'm not super well versed on
Mhm.
radical remission. Our president, Liz Curran, is, and she, what I understand is that a 10th factor has been added. So, you know, that's just great news too.
Mhm. Great. Well, you also hold classes at your center,
Yes.
right? Because I've done a couple of things there. Yeah.
Yes. So Elsie has come and taught some Eden energy medicine to us.
Yes.
So, and I get to use that. I use that every single day of my life. I love it. And whenever I have a client or friend or family member who is feeling overtaxed or stressed, I pull out my my tool bag of Eden energy medicine and share that with them. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
So Elsie's come and taught with us. We have monthly, we have the sound healing with Lucia.
Right.
We have laughter yoga, and laughter yoga is available every Tuesday at 6:30. So if anyone's interested in that, I can give you the Zoom link to that. And then once we all get back to being in each other's presence again, we'll invite you to the studio to have laughter yoga too. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's hard to just say, okay, it's time to laugh, and you laugh for no reason, but your body really gets the benefit of it. It doesn't care if you're laughing for real or if it's fake. Your body knows no difference. You still get the benefits from it.
Well, we certainly need some laughter these days.
Yeah, please join us.
So let me check before we go back to the slideshow. Does anybody have any questions for Julie? And what I can do is unmute you, if I can find that button.
Oh, I am unmuted. Okay.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. Hi, and thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
And we were at was it Elsie's Reiki workshop? So I've been to your place. So
You
cool.
heard, Julie.
My question is.
You looked familiar. Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if you could like kind of give us a hint on a couple of those 9 things might be.
The 9 factors. Okay. Again, I'm not super well versed in this. I could bring my husband in here because he actually has participated in the workshop. But one of the factors is diet. One is supplementation, taking supplements.
Yeah. Okay.
There's spirituality related factors. There's letting go of old
Guilt.
burdens. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know,
Okay.
That's the best I
But-
can do. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine, because what it is taking what we already know separately and bringing them into one unit and working on that, right?
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, it's a holistic practice.
Okay.
Certainly.
Because usually there's only one or two, maybe three things within those 9, which I don't know yet, but I'm sure it's in my head somewhere, that that usually people deal with or are helped by or working with at any given time. I haven't heard more than diet, of course, is first. Get rid of the stuff that you shouldn't have in your diet. And then support, and then spirituality,
Yes.
those kinds of things.
Support,
Yeah, okay, that's yeah.
A positive
Okay.
outlook.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to say that Dr. Kelly Turner,
Thank you.
as Julie mentioned, when she was doing her thesis, she really went around the world to interview people that had had these remissions, which she termed as radical remissions, because as Julie explained, that basically the medical system said we had nothing to help you, and she interviewed them to find out what it was that helped them to come to the other side, so to speak, and found out that there were these 9 common areas that these people felt took them through the crisis and to the other side. And that book, Radical Remission, is on Amazon. And also,
Yeah.
if you go to the blog, if you go to, I have that link up for, healthylife.org. You can go there, and I'm sure some of the information is there as well, isn't it, Julie?
Yes. And if you go,
Okay.
you also have the link for Radical Remission, and
Okay.
that's a support group. You can learn about Radical Remission there too, but there's support there. There's information all about the Radical Remission movement.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we also have a link where if you would like to apply to get some help from Heal Thy Life, there's actually a link that you can click on that Julie provided, and I'll make sure that that's up on the very first page, but I'll make sure that when I send the replay out that all those links are there as well.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, if you know anybody who wants to apply for help, we have a grant. It's a one-time grant for 6 months, and we help to pay, like I said, for a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor, or treatments that are medically, given by a medical doctor, but just not covered by insurance.
Great.
So we can help with that grant. So if you know anyone, please send them to Heal Thy Life. And again, Elsie will have that up on the slide for you.
Yeah.
It's healthylifenj.org/grant.
Okay, I'll make sure those links are up there.
Or I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna-
/apply.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody again.
No, I didn't think you were actually.
Go back to, wait, and go back to the slideshow for a minute. Share the screen. So here again, and again, I will copy these and make sure that they're on the replay information. That's the link for healthylifenj.org, as Julie just commented. And then, healthylifenj.org to apply if you want to apply to go to a radical remission workshop or help from them. All the information will be there. And I'll also provide Julie's information, which is on the first slide. So in case for any reason that you want to contact Julie, if you have any questions, she'd be glad to help you with that.
Elsie, may I just mention a couple other things?
Sure, please.
So if anyone is on Facebook, we have, are you on Facebook? I'm seeing some head shakes. No? Okay. Okay. Well, for anyone who may be watching this later, if I can just add that
Sure.
we do have a few Heal Thy Life pages, and they're Healthy Life Committees, which is our volunteer page, Healthy Life Connections, which is for for cancer patients and cancer survivors, for a safe place to go for support, and then Healthy Life or Heal Thy Life Supports, which is for the caregivers, for a place for them to go in and just
Great.
vent and get support. So thank you for that.
Yeah, so Julie, do me a favor, send me those links because I'll include those too, because this will be, I will make it into a YouTube, and anybody on the call is welcome to share, you know, if you like to share the YouTube. I make it into a YouTube because everyone can access a YouTube. This Zoom makes it into an MP4, and I can do that through Dropbox, but I've had people get lost in Dropbox, so we just make it into a YouTube. Everybody can click on that and get that, you know.
Thank you.
Right, thanks, Julie. So let's go back to sharing the screen. And I just want to mention this guy, Dr. Zach Bush. He is a physician who specializes in endocrinology, internal medicine, and hospice care. He's internationally recognized as a thought leader on microbiome and how it relates to health, disease, and food systems. So he has a number of videos on YouTube where he's talking about how to restore the microbiome. He's talking extensively about Roundup, which you may or may not know, but it has been banned in Europe, but it's still selling here because they have a tremendous lobby in Washington. And he's an amazing presenter. And he did an hour and 22-minute talk with Del Bigtree on Highwire. But at the last 10 minutes, he spoke about this whole COVID-19 thing and what we're going through right now. And I'm going to see if I can access, if it will go to that. Let's see what happens. Little experiment.
Sort of finish this up, we've talked about all of what the virus does.
Okay, wait a second. Can people see this? Wait a minute.
I can hear it, but I can't see it.
You can hear it, but you can't see it. Okay. All right. Well, I'll play a little bit of it and then I'll send you the link.
What about the damage? I mean, you also work with elderly. We're locking elderly away. They're not being visited by their families. People are dying all by themselves in hospitals. People aren't being able to go to memorial services and go through the experience of releasing these people and their family. We have literally become virtually, you know, I would say inhuman towards those elderly that are in end-of-life scenarios, whether it's COVID caused or a heart attack that happened because they didn't have a hospital. What is the hope for the future? Is there hope in this? What are we to learn as we move forward? Because on one level, you know, you described the weeds as being important. They're just like viruses are important, but our human connection too is so important to this. Do you have any thoughts on the result of the disease or the infection, which I would call our lockdown? Our, as you said, our incorrect approach is its own disease of mindset. What would you like people to know, as you know, as a career, you stare in the eyes of these people that are going to have this transition period? Should we be afraid of death? Are we dying? Is this inhumane? Is there hope for us to move forward? Or are we just looking into a dark world as, you know, that's now out of our control?
If there's crimes against humanity being exercised right now, I don't believe that it's in a military lab. I believe that it's in those ICUs of dying patients alone. In what time in history have we decided that we need to en masse let people die alone. Marines are taught to never leave a soldier on the battlefield. Marines will literally charge into machine gun fire, into rocket fire, to go grab that injured soldier so that they don't die alone in enemy hands. What level of fear have we induced in mankind that we are letting our revered elderly and our young people who are dying from these conditions die alone? It is worse than rocket fire. It is worse than this. And we've generated that level of fear around a virus that looks to have a mortality similar to flu. What are we doing with this tyranny of fear? We are tearing apart the very fabric of what it means to be human. There's an innate drive in us to stay connected, to stay in one another's presence, to have fellowship with one another. It's written into our Constitution that you will not block public gatherings. You will not block the ability for us to get together and practice our spiritual faith, to practice our spiritual experience. And if anything is a hallowed ground of spiritual environment, it is the birthplace of a child and the birthplace of an elder person about to transition to the other side. There are two births that happen to humankind. And the first, of course, must be extraordinary. If we could remember it all, how amazing.
So I'm just going to go to the very end of this because he says, just
and
said
our
the
reaction to seeing the beauty is love. If you feel unloved, if you feel like you don't know what it means to love yourself or your loved one who is dying right now, then stop trying to generate the human emotion of love and start witnessing the beauty, and then you will experience the love. We need to see the beauty of the virome. We need to see the beauty of the microbiome. We need to see the beauty of a human breath. We need to see the beauty of a planet that can breathe when given the opportunity. We need to see the beauty of human touch, a hug. When we go back to a normal, I hope it's not the old normal. We need to find a new normal in these coming weeks. When they say you can go back to your normal activities, do not go back to your normal activities. Act much differently. See the beauty everywhere. Engage with the beauty, and most of all in your fellow humanity. And let's love each other in the experience of each other's beauty to realize a much different future.
Thank you, Zach.
Okay, so I'm going to provide this link, and he really spoke, you know, so beautifully about what we're going through right now. And he has a number of other lengthy videos that talk about what's actually been happening with our soil, with the gut, with the microbiome. He does have some one product I think you can purchase, but he's just brilliant in the way that he is talking from a place of compassion. He spent a lot of years in the ICU, and one of the things that he said, which was so profound to me, was that he said, you know, there were times where they resuscitated someone, brought them back, and the person would say, "Why did you bring me back? It was so beautiful on the other side." So just kind of a remarkable individual, and we need to hear more of this, the way that he's speaking and teaching us. And of course, we have Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he has reached hundreds of thousands with this Go Love 20 meditation. And his idea was to expand the idea of love instead of fear throughout this pandemic that we've been going through. So he's another great leader and teacher that we have. And I'm not going to go all through this, but these are some protocols that we recommend for everyone to build up their immune system and keep it strong. And they're easy things that you can do as far as, you know, chaga mushrooms and where to get them from fungi.com, vitamin D and K2 and vitamin C, Liposol, 500 milligrams daily. And I always talk about getting those dollar nail brushes and having them in every bathroom. Really easy way to be sure that you're cleaning the germs off your hands. Water, and trying to breathe and stay calm during this difficult time as it drags on. I interviewed Rich a couple Tuesdays ago, and I'm going to include it. Our interview was just 22 minutes, and Rich is medical intuitive, but really doing more of his spiritual mediumship now. He's writing a second book. He was a former undercover narcotics detective for 25 years and has been self-taught. He taught himself regarding his mediumship and why he did that. He explains in his book. And again, another incredible guy. So these are some suggestions he made early on when we went into COVID that are ways that people can help stay healthy. I also don't want to forget to mention that on June 25th, and I'll be sending information around about this, Pam Young-Hans is going to be doing an update, and she's going to be talking about transmutations and rebirth, rising from the ashes as we go from July to December 2020. Every 6 months, Pam and I do an update on astrological events. And what I love about Pam's work is that she not only discusses the astrological aspects of what's going on with the sun, moon, and stars, but she also explains that how it's going to affect us physically, emotionally, spiritually, politically. So she gives us a very down-to-earth view of what to expect. And if you'd like to unlock your abundance in those 7 key energy zones, you can contact me. I was offering beta testing this, a 1-hour session. It's online only via Zoom, special for $47. And of course, here's Dr. Joe and Lynn McTaggart, who actually Lynn created the Power of 8. Dr. Joe calls them coherent healings, and I call them supercharged heart healings that we do with our prayer bowl. And tonight we're going to work with Donna Kernan. She's one of our members. She may have just come on. I see we have another person on, and she's trying to find, she's down in Ocean City, but if anybody knows anyone who's really a great dentist, she's looking for the best care she can get for her gums and her teeth, and getting them back to wholeness and healing them. And also Nancy McMillan, Yolanda mentioned her. She had returned to, okay, great, from Long Beach Island. Great, Donna. She had to return to the chemo. We'll have Yolanda give us an update. Peggy Kaufman it's her birthday tonight, so that may be why she's not on the webinar with us. Her husband Jordan and his brother Rainer benefited from our group healing, and of course Yolanda's on with us, and I think she's just about finished the immunotherapy treatments. And Larissa, we've been praying for her, and she's in the Ukraine, and Tanya brought her to us. Marianne, my sister, is having a very difficult time for both she and her family, and we had a request for Beth. I'll have to get a update on her. And of course, Chris and Carol's dog, Brenna, who's going to live to be 55 now, that we're all praying for. And of course, the Murphys, Kristen and Joe, Michael, 11, the new baby, Thomas, and Joey, 5. and my grandson Chase, who's had seizures when he was a year old and is still struggling with some speech issues, but doing much better. So I kept this picture in. Here are the Murphys. Here's Michael. This is, back in February, holding his new brother Thomas. And Joey, who's 5, has always been a real character. And so he was a little worried about this new brother coming on the scene, but it looks like Tommy is doing great. Here he is after a bath, and we've got Joey smiling. So I think everybody's doing great there. And when we do our work, we're going to be breathing in the power of love and letting go of fear. And I also want to mention that last Friday was a new moon. So don't forget about writing your abundance checks. And this tells you exactly how to do that. And here's all the continuing dates through 2020 for writing those. I want to mention that our next wellness webinar will be on Wednesday night, June 24th, because Thursday, June 25th is when Pam is going to do her webinar, because there's another segment of this big Pluto-Saturn conjunction that's starting up June 27th. So she wants to get this information in before that. And if you need a little clarity, check in with me, or somebody would like to join our monthly sessions, have them contact us, or an abundance session. And of course, Reiki 1 and 2, if you'd like anybody that wants to receive Reiki, learn it. I love teaching it. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to all the people that we're working with tonight. And I just want to see. So I think we have Donna. I think you are on the call, so that's great, because we're just about ready to work with everyone here. And so I'm going to stop for a moment. So let's let's supercharge our heart. We're doing those supercharged heart healings. Okay, so let's warm up our palms. And if we just pull them apart a little bit, just notice what you feel between your palms. And if you spread them out, it gets a little stringier. If you bring them back in, it gets a little stronger. So we're just using our heart energy. Let's have one hand over the other at the heart, because the heart holds the most electromagnetic energy of any organ in the body. And so we're using the power of love and the power of the heart. And I have our prayer bowl here that I use every morning after I do my Reiki symbols, and I hold the bowl. And remember that there's no time in the universe the way that we experience here. So even if you're only holding your prayer bowl for 60 seconds, the universe is not saying, that was only 60 seconds. Whatever your intention is and however long you can hold it, that is beneficial. And also, I always feel that since all of these people are in the prayer bowl, that they're continually receiving prayers, because that's exactly what this is designated for. So again, just bringing ourselves into a state of relaxation, letting go of whatever's going on, in our life at this time, and focusing and bringing our intention to supercharge our heart for not only all the people in the prayer bowl, but for the special people that we designated. And I'm going to start with Donna, who's looking to heal her gums and to bring her teeth and gums back into a place of health and healing for herself. And we also want to work with Yolanda, who's on the call tonight, as she's finishing up her immunotherapy. And she's also taking great care of herself, self-care. So she's really working on loving herself and taking care of herself. And we're doing the same thing with her tonight. And of course, Peggy has her birthday tonight. So we want to just wish her a wonderful year ahead and help for her husband, who's been struggling with glaucoma and some other minor issues. Prayers for them and for Jordan's brother, Rainier. And also for Nancy McMillan, who's had to return to chemo, and hope that all of that will be successful and healing for her. And all the Murphys, special prayers for Joe and Kristen, mom and dad, who have those 3 boys that they're raising, and a lot of challenges with all being confined and quarantined through this lockdown. And also Brenna, Chris and Carol's dog, and Larissa in the Ukraine. She's been really struggling for a long time with terrific pain, with arthritis, very severe pain. So we ask for relief of the pain. And we again recognize the power of group healing, how powerful it is when we all come together and hold all of these people in our hearts. There is nothing more powerful. So again, in our intention and in our hearts, holding everyone, blessing them. My grandson, for Marianne, for all of the people that are listed. And remember that if you have anyone special that you want us to pray for, to send it in to me, and I'll put them in that list that we have, and then also in the prayer bowl. So let's just take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out from the heart, send our love to everyone that was on the list and everyone in the prayer bowl. And I've included all of our people on the Women Healing Women Wellness webinar in the bowl, so we can add ourselves in that list. And bring to mind anyone else that you would like included. So we hold a level of heart, love, compassion, and gratitude for this time to hold all of these people, all of these fellow humans in our hearts. And we ask the great divine to help them for whatever they need for the highest purpose, the highest good, and the highest intention at this time. Take a deep breath and let it go. And when you get into bed tonight, just put one hand over the other at your heart center and hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time.